We are for the latest edition of Damon Fowler's Sugar Shack Mondays at Aces Lounge in Bradenton, Florida. I'm Wade Tatanja with the Bradenton Herald, and with me is Damon Fowler. Real quick, he handpicks all the artists to play this.
Oh.
And even though he's in California right now, the reason you're here representing Damon Fowler's Sugar Shack Mondays is because he said, this is someone who I want to be doing it.
That's very nice of him. Very nice of him. Thank you, Damon, if you're out there. No, that's an honor. It's an honor. Damon's a good friend and a great talent.
And how long, real quick, I didn't even introduce you.
We can do that.
Let's do that first. Doug,
Yes.
introduce you to the band.
My name is Doug Deming, and I lead the Jewel Tones.
And you had a special guest today with you,
I do. Al Hill, who it was a friend of mine from back in Michigan, and moved to Nashville a handful of years ago. And he's been playing on the road with a blues and soul singer named
Betty LaVette, who I'm a
Yes.
huge fan of.
Oh, she's dynamite. Al has been her musical director as well as her keyboard player for many years now.
For those not familiar with her, she's kind of like a one of those kind of lost greats.
No doubt about it.
Who's finally come to the spotlight,
Yep.
and I'm very glad that you're playing with them. Now, your set was great. You started out, the crowd was loving it. You had some very enthusiastic dancers for
Yes,
you, Doug.
we did. Very enthusiastic.
And once again, before I get ahead of myself, Mighty Tiger recording artist.
Mighty Tiger, yes. Mighty Tiger is the blues subsidiary of a jazz label called the Chase Music Group. And
I know that you, okay.
You know Chase? Yeah,
Yeah.
they're out of Glendale, California.
Right.
And I've been with them since '02.
Oh, okay. But you live in Manatee County.
I do now, yes. I'm a lifelong Detroiter and moved right here to Bradenton and right about a year ago.
Very
So
cool.
Still new in town.
Were you wooed by the weather? Because I know you're a national touring artist. What makes you decide to make this home?
Weather had a lot to do with it. And the fishing. If I'm not working, I like to be fishing. And that really pulled me in. Coming from Michigan, I live right off the Great Lakes, so there's a lot of fishing there, but you can only do it half the year. And now
Right.
down here,
Well, Lacey, our producer, Lacey Campbell, who's Damon's girlfriend and lives in Miami Island, you and Damon will have to do some fishing
we need
together.
the guy. We've been talking about it. We haven't had the opportunity. Schedules have to line
Yeah.
up. But we'll make it happen.
Because from what I understand, when he's not on the road or making music or spending time with Lacey, he's fishing.
Well, he can always take Lacey fishing.
That's it.
Of course.
So your set tonight, you did some cool covers, and one of my favorite Chuck Berry songs, "No Particular Place to Go."
Me too.
Everybody does "Johnny Be Good," and I mean he's got. Don't get me wrong, I love all those songs.
Yes.
But I think "No Particular Place to Go" was after his first little jail stint,
I think you're right.
and it was one of his big comeback songs. Always liked it. But let's talk about your originals, because
Okay.
I really like your originals because it's a nice hybrid of blues and rock, but with some rockabilly in there too.
A little bit, little
And
swing,
a little
jazz.
swing,
Yeah, we try to mix
a
it
little
up a little.
boogie woogie.
Yep.
You can move to all of it. Plug your original music.
Well, I said it in a nutshell. We really try to mix everything that we like of the traditional American bag. You know, everything. I feel everything we do is very traditional, but we pull from every aspect, from blues, jazz, swing, a little bit of rockabilly, a little bit of country influence. In a word, you could call it blues, because that's what blues is. It's just a mixture of American music, and
Now you said you grew up in Detroit.
I did.
So you got Berry Gordy in Motown.
Sure
You
do.
got Bob Seger. You got Iggy Pop. You got a bunch of other bands that are probably escaping me.
Sure,
But you had so much music growing up. MC5.
MC5,
You know, you
right,
had all
right.
this music. When you were growing up from Detroit, what was it that grabbed you, that made you pick up a guitar?
There was just something about the guitar that pulled me.
And the Funk Brothers, real quick, the band,
Definitely.
for people
Right.
not to get all music geeky, but they're the
Right.
ones that backed all the Motown acts.
Exactly. They were
And
the-
people don't realize these guys were blues jazz
Definitely.
badasses.
Definitely.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but I'll go ahead.
It's internet. You
Yeah.
can.
I mean, right, I mean, these guys, they knew the blues, they knew the jazz, they knew their pop. But what was it? Was there a particular recording maybe that made you? Or
You know, I was just drawn to the instrument in general first,
Uh-huh.
and it wasn't about a style of music. I was just drawn to the instrument, and
because the chicks liked it.
You know, maybe.
I hate the triple.
No, there was
I am
just-
teasing you.
Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know what it was. I was drawn to the instrument, and then through that, listening to different styles of music, it was clear that I liked the more traditional, the old school stuff. And when I started getting out in Detroit and hearing guys, like you said, there was your Motown, there was your MC5. There's a big underground like garage band movement going on in Detroit. There's a lot of different things, but there are guys even today still around in Detroit that recorded for the big label in Detroit before Motown, which was called Fortune Records.
Yeah, yeah.
And guys like Johnny Bassett and who just passed, but Joe Weaver, all kinds of blues and doo-wop at that time because it was 50s. And those guys are still around playing, and they, I was lucky enough to get to meet and play with some of those guys and be
Oh,
influenced
did you get
by
to do
them.
some like club gigs and back these
Yes,
guys?
Yes, and that was really important to me and really helped, I think, solidify my foundation in the tradition of the old school thing.
Because you got to pay your dues. You got to be in that club
Without a doubt.
with the 65-year-old guy. Maybe he's past his peak,
Oh, I've done.
but you can
way
still
older than
learn.
that.
Yeah, you got to, right? I mean,
It's
it's a rite of passage.
Still, from time to time, I play with Detroit's Queen of the Blues, Alberta Adams, who is probably in her mid-90s now.
Wow.
Toured with T-Bone Walker, Tiny Bradshaw, Duke Ellington.
So like how Irma Thomas is to New Orleans, she is to Detroit.
Exactly. She has some records on the Chess label from the
Okay.
50s. I mean, real deal stuff. When you're playing with somebody, and she turns and says, play some T-Bone Walker, and you play your best little T-Bone Walker imitation, and she goes, that's right, I know it's happening because she played with T-Bone Walker.
Right.
And it's really just, cool to get the perspective of the people that were really there when the music was created. And,
What was the highest compliment?
it really kind of helped shape, my outlook and the goal for, my musical vision.
Well, here at the Sugar Shack Mondays webcast that Damon Fowler concocted, who we got to give a quick plug for Fowler. He's doing his first California tour ever.
That's great.
And then he's doing this and I'm going to mock it a little bit, Damon, if you're watching. He's doing kind of a Wayne Noonan Edmonton gig. He's got like this
I've done that
10-day thing
exactly.
in a hotel in Edmonton.
I'm assuming it's the commercial hotel at the Blues on White.
Yeah. And so
Enjoy the little hotel room. It's a great gig.
And it's going to be cold. Yeah, he says he's not going to leave the room for 10 days, or the hotel. So he's
David, if you're listening, get the Donair salad around the corner from the club. It's
so he's doing his
they'll
first.
have fun there. It's a great.
He's
room.
doing LA, San Francisco, all that, and then Edmonton. And is this broadcast? Is this it for the live broadcast? But if you're in the area, you're playing another set.
Definitely.
It's at Ace's Lounge. We're at
4343.
wow,
Palmas
you've got
Boulevard.
it memorized.
Well,
it's basically just west of 75th off Cortez,
Yes.
which is what I was going to say, but Doug he's got it memorized.
Well, you got to let the peeps know.
Yeah. So if you can't make it out, which I highly recommend. Oh, by the way, it's no cover, and the place is packed. And the reason is because there's great music. You don't get this on a Monday night.
Also.
And next Monday, we actually are gonna get to see Doug again.
We have the Terry Hank Band next week, who's a wonderful tenor saxophone player, blues and soul singer from the Bay Area of California, who's now residing in southeastern Florida, and he'll be over here next Monday, and he's got my trio backing him up. So
Terry Hank, he plays tenor sax,
and he's
nice.
just a wonderful singer. He's just got nominated for a Blues Music Award for Best Saxophone Player.
Now, do you know what label he's on?
He is on the VizTone label right now.
I was gonna say, because his name sounds familiar.
But he's got a couple surprises coming up in the next few weeks.
Well, we'll
I
have
don't know
to
if
talk
it's
to him
official,
next week.
but maybe
But
if he can talk about it, I'm sure he will next Monday.
But tenor saxophone is one of my favorite instruments. It mimics the human voice. You've probably heard that. It's a cliche among us music geeks, but it does, and I look forward to hearing it. Plug your latest CD, plug your upcoming gig, and plug your website.
Very good. Well, the website's just my name, DougDeming.com.
And it's with one M.
It is with one M. But, any Google search will find it. It'll be good. The latest record is called Falling Through the Cracks, and it's It's been out about a year now, and it's been doing pretty well for me. I've got some great special guests on it. Dennis Grunling, who's kind of my touring partner, one of the best harmonica players you'll ever hear. He's up in Jersey, and you know, with our proximity, we only can get together and play when we do longer tours. But he's my pal, and we're happy to get him on the record. And we also
So it's great to have a good harp player.
No doubt. And I've also another one of the best. I've got Kim Wilson of the Fabulous Thunderbirds played some numbers.
Geez.
We back up Kim now and again, and
Wow.
actually the T-Birds are playing in Florida this week. I think we're going to go out and hang with those guys.
Oh, very cool.
Thursday.
Kim Wilson, singer, harp player, Fabulous Thunderbirds.
You don't get any better than that.
Yeah.
You just don't.
Oh, that's
But,
great. So he's on your album. That's
Yep, we've got him
fantastic.
on a few cuts on the record, and upcoming things. Well, next week we're just a little road trip across the state. We're in Cocoa Beach at the Beach Shack on Friday, and Chef John's in Jupiter on Saturday.
All right. Well, if you're tuning in on the east coast of Florida, check it out. And it's going to be great. We're going to have you back next week.
I'm looking forward to it, but we'll have Terry in the hot seat, and you'll be able to find out all about him.
Hey, you know, it was a pleasure, Doug. And
Pleasure's mine.
everybody,
Thank you.
can't wait to check back in next Monday. Welcome to the Sugar Shack, and we will see you back here Monday. And if you're around town, get on up here, because we got another hot set coming.
We got another show coming. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you, Doug.
Appreciate it. And pass my thanks on to Damon.
Of course. Well, actually, Lacey will do that.
Thank you, Lacey.